But I'll keep trying to do that, but that's what it is.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
and if we could remain standing and remember our men and women in the armed forces. Thank you.
I'd just like to add a prayer. Notre Dame right now
Yes, Notre Dame is burning. It looks like the walls are up, but what a tremendous loss. So far, no one hurt that we know, but that's as of a half hour ago watching TV. But yeah, our thoughts are with them too. Thank you. Public hearing, if I could open it up at this time, the public hearing on the Community Development Block Grant for the year 2020. If there's any, it's a public hearing on suggestions or comments in general about the Community Development Block Grant. In the past, we've done pretty well with them through the county. It's a county program. If there's, I see there's no comment, so it was for the public hearing, and so I will close the public hearing on the Community Development Block Grant for 2020. Which one was in progress? Next on the agenda is minutes to be approved. We had a regular meeting on March 18, 2019. We had a regular meeting on April 1, 2019. We had a special meeting on April 1, 2019 on the tentative budget. We had a special meeting again on April 1, 2019 on reorganization. I know there's one more meeting, but if we could approve the first four as a group, it would be appropriate.
Make a motion.
Motion? Yes.
I wasn't at the March 18th.
Okay. Guys, I want you to tell me before we start the meeting what meetings you're not at, okay? So,
April 1st.
I'm going to do it this way. Rick? Could I have a motion that we approve the regular meeting for March 18th?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Howard, is there a second? Second by trustee Livesey. Roll call.
Trustee Allard,
Aye.
Trustee Livesey,
Aye.
Trustee Ramus,
Abstain?
Trustee DeSalvo,
Abstain.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Motion carries. Minutes are accepted. May I have a motion for April 1 regular meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
May I have roll call?
Roll call Trustee Allard,
Aye.
Trustee Livesey,
Aye.
Trustee Ramus,
Aye.
Trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Motion carries. May I have a motion for April? April 1? Which one?
Tentative budget.
Special meeting. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Trustee Allard,
Aye.
Trustee Livesey,
Aye.
Trustee Ramus,
Aye.
Trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Motion carries. Next one was a special meeting on April 1 for reorganization. May I have a motion?
So moved.
First, motion made by trustee Howard, seconded by trustee DeSalvo. May I have roll call?
Trustee Allard,
Aye.
Trustee Livesey,
Abstain?
Trustee Ramus,
Aye.
Trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Motion carries. And last, a special meeting on April 9th, which was a budget workshop. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Seconded by trustee Howard. May I have roll call?
Trustee Allard,
Aye.
Trustee
Aye.
Livesey, Trustee Ramus,
But there's a correction to the minutes, Gina, just so you know. The members present, I think, aren't correct.
what do I have there, Jim? Because
Was
I
April
don't
9th
have it in front of me.
Tuesday night?
That was, that was the Tuesday that we did the budget on the 9th.
What he's saying is that trustee Livesey wasn't there.
What was that? Was
I don't
that-
know if he was
Was
or
that
not.
Tuesday night?
He was there.
I
It was a
there
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion? Can I have roll call again, please?
Reorganization.
Oh,
May I have roll call again?
Trustee Howard,
Aye.
trustee Livesey,
Aye.
trustee Ramus,
I,
trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor
Aye,
D'Onofrio.
motion carries. Thank you so much. Next is a resolution. If we adopt our budget that we worked on, department heads, public, us, fiscal year 2019-2020. Resolved that the annual budget of the Village of Holland Falls for fiscal year 2019 to 2020 be adopted as follows. The general fund budget in the amount of $5,192,417. Water fund budget in the amount of $912,015. Sewer budget fund, $1,144,365. Be it further resolved that the water rate shall remain the same at $88.80 minimum for the first 5,000 gallons, and the current rate of $4.63 per 1,000 gallons thereafter. So again, the rate doesn't change. Be it further resolved that the sewer rate remain the same, which is 185% of the immediate previous water bill. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take place immediately. The adoption of the foregoing resolution was moved by trustee.
I'll move it.
And seconded by trustee.
Just want to let the public know that we had that last budget workshop, and the mayor and the trustees were able to bring the tax levy below the tax cap. So I think that's important for everybody to know. At the public hearing, we were at the tax cap, so we were able to knock a few dollars off and change some revenues from the state. So I was happy about that.
May I have roll call?
Who was the second?
Mr. Livesey?
Thank you. Trustee Howard,
Aye.
trustee Livesey,
Aye.
trustee Ramus,
I,
trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much. We have a resolution for our refinancing a 2009 bond. As I said at the last meeting, we hope to be able to save, have a better amount, but this is pretty accurate right now, $240,000 to the taxpayers. The resolution summary of which is published herewith has been adopted on the 15th of April 2019. The validity of the obligation authorized by such resolution may be hereafter contested only if such obligations were authorized for an object or purpose for which the Village of Holland Falls and the County of Orange, New York is not authorized to expend money, or if the provisions of the law which should have been compiled with as of the date of publication of this notice were not substantially compiled with an action, suit, or proceeding contesting such validity is commenced within 20 days of the publication of this notice, or such obligations were authorized in violation of the provisions of the Constitution by the order of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Holland Falls on the 15th day of April 2019, Holland Falls, New York, Regina Taylor, Village Clerk. Refunding bond resolution of the Village of Holland Falls, New York, adopted on the 15th day of April 2019, authorizing the refunding of certain outstanding bonds of said village, stating the plan of refunding, appropriating an amount not to exceed $2,900,000 for such purpose, authorizing the issuance of refunding bonds in the principal amount or not to exceed $2,900,000 to finance said appropriations, and making certain other, to determinations relative thereto. The object and purpose for which the bonds are authorized is the refunding of all or portions of a certain outstanding bonds of the village incurred in 2009 for various improvements in and for the village. Various periods of probable unfulness within 5 years, or 40 years commencing on the date of the original issuance of the first bond or note issuance for the purpose for which the outstanding bonds are issued. The maximum amount of obligation authorized to be issued is $2,900,000. A complete copy of the bond resolution summarizing above shall be available for public inspection during the normal business hours at the office of the village clerk at the Village Hall at 303 Main Street in Highland Falls, New York. Now that's this was done between the village clerk, myself, our treasurer, our help from our village attorney, Elise, who's sitting up here at the table with us, and Noah, correct, Gene? Gene and Noah had a big part in this. So everything's done properly as far as the paperwork goes. So if I could
So moved.
have a motion to accept. Motion by trustee DeSalvo, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee
Elwood.
Howard. Did I pronounce your name?
No, of course, it's good.
You guys are really testing.
Roll call.
You heard that back there?
Yes, sir.
Roll call.
Trustee Albert,
Aye.
trustee Livesey,
Aye.
trustee Ramus,
Aye.
trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Thank you so much. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the appointment of Quindell Washington as a DPW laborer effective May 2, 2019 at a rate of $14 an hour per the contract with a maximum probation per recommendation of our DPW Street Superintendent John Jones. I know that Mr. Howard and Mr. Jones and Brent
Yes, right.
did the interviews,
And all references were checked.
and this is the recommendation to us, so a motion would be appropriate.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
You have that, Jim? All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I apologize. May I have roll call?
Trustee Albert,
Aye.
trustee Livesey,
Aye.
trustee Ramus,
Aye.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Abstain.
Did I say trustee DeSalvo? Trustee DeSalvo,
Aye.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
We're out of our element here, and I think that's what's happening. These guys are testy, and
Nobody's testing.
so, Bishop.
No.
You abstained.
It just doesn't feel like home.
We're beyond the rules, testy.
We're like our doors. What's the problem? We're like our
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
I'm ready to fill the chairs.
I know who's coming. All right, let's get through this. We have a recommendation from our chief, who's in the background. Thanks, chief, for being here tonight, to complete the probation of our full-time police officer, Robert Cooper.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next, I'm looking for authorization to sign an agreement with Vercliff Technologies, Inc. It's for our IT services for a period of August of 19 this year to August of 2020 next year, with no change to the service rate from 2018-2019. I did meet with these folks along with the village clerk. Gina, who else was there? Oh, the chief was there because he's got a lot of stuff over there that they're in charge of or help us with. They gave us a list of who they represent. It was impressive. It was checked out to some degree. There was a lot, so we didn't go every single one. But I'm comfortable. So I recommend, may I have authorization to sign a contract?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I would like to have authorization to sign a municipal advisory service agreement between the Village of Highland Falls and Unistat Services. Fee of $1,250. Now, just so we all know, these folks here, Unistat, they're related to the bonding.
Mhm.
You know that, Elise. They're related to the bonding through, it's NOAA. We always say NOAA. This is NOAA. And so we actually need this, but he's been with the village a very, very long time. So a motion would be appropriate.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'd like to give the village engineer authorization to go out to bid for the North End Sidewalks project.
After you review.
Yeah, after we review the design, we'll be at the office, but we want to go out. I would like you all to just stop in this week and review them. If you want to have, call up John Jones, have him there to help. Sometimes reading blueprints is not my thing, but so he helps. Just so we could get it out, get this job going, because there's a lot of jobs we need. You'll see here, project is a type 2 action, and seeker so no additional seeker review is required, which is good. So could we have a motion upon your review of the specs to go out to bid?
I make a motion.
Motion by Merck, and seconded.
I'll second the motion.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, motion carried. Next, we have a request, Town of Highlands baseball/softball opening day parade is Saturday, April the 27th at 9:30 in the morning. Rain date is the following day, the 28th of April, same time, 9:30. If we could have permission for that.
So moved.
Insurance is here.
Yes.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, all in favor?
I'm gonna abstain.
We're going to take roll call.
Trustee Alward,
Aye.
trustee Livesey,
Abstain.
trustee Ramus,
Aye.
trustee DeSalvo,
Yes.
Mayor D'Onofrio.
Aye. Motion carries, okay. Motion carries, okay. Event, Town of Highlands, I did that one. Event for the vendor spot number 2. Finally going to have this come to a conclusion here. So we had opening of bids last Friday, 10 o'clock. I was there, Gina was there, the applicant was there. And you'll see that the bid came in at $250 for the spot. From now till
March 31.
a year. The other one's 9 months. This one will be for 1 year. They both expire on the same day, and we'll go out to bid on both. $250. The apparent high bidder was Chris Slap. So may I have a motion to accept, if you wish to, this bid for $250?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Joey,
Okay, so back up, we need to give the village engineer authorization to go out to bid on the wastewater treatment plant. Phase 1. If we could do that tonight, I'll get the engineer ready for it.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You can pick up the voice back this one. So I'm happy to report, as most people know by now, that the court case brought against the village, which we had won in a previous court decision but was appealed, we now have won the appeal. I think it's important to note that the appeal was before 4 judges. I'm sorry?
speak up a little bit.
The appeal was brought before 4 judges. So after this, now that we've won this particular appeal, This case has gone before 5 judges, which I think is important to note. I want to thank Elise because you went to court on the original suit and you had followed it up on the appeal. A lot of work went into it. We all talked a lot, and I very much appreciate you representing us and winning the case. So I'm going to read a prepared statement, so just bear with me. The village won a legal victory last week when the appellate division upheld the lower court's dismissal of the Kat DeGaw, the Pat Flynn, the Laura Milsom, and the Sharon Guy case against the village. The lower court decided that the people suing the village did not have standing, the right to bring the case in the first place, and the appellate division agreed. The courts, both of them, basically decided that local matters that by state law are placed in the hands of local municipal boards, like the appointment of a chief of police, are not national matters that should be taken out of the hands of local elected officials just because some taxpayers didn't like the appointment. If the court would have allowed that to happen, then the court would be bombarded by taxpayers who were disgruntled. Also, I think that the court recognized what this litigation was really all about. Now, their attorney is saying that they might appeal to the New York Court of Appeals, the highest court in the state. When I asked our attorney about that, she said there is simply no basis in the law for this issue to get to the Court of Appeals. She explained to me that there are only 4 ways to get a decision in front of the Court of Appeals, and none of them apply here. 1, a split decision by the panel that heard the appeal, where 2 judges dissent. But this was a unanimous decision by the appellate division. All 4 judges who heard the appeal decided in the village's favor. Number 2, the matter involved the United States or New York State constitutional question, which this case does not. Number 3, the appellate division grants permission to appeal their decision to the Court of Appeals. Here, all 4 judges decided in our favor. So they aren't going to give their permission to appeal. And 4, finally, if the appellate division refuses to grant permission to appeal, then they can directly ask the Court of Appeals for permission. But the Court of Appeals only deals with broad issues of law where there is conflict among the appellate divisions and not individuals, like this one is. So, they can threaten to appeal to the highest court, and they can spend their money trying to do that. But luckily, none of these options involve the village spending any more money on this litigation. So, we win, it's over. I will wait for the last bill to come from our attorney. And then I will give to the village taxpayers the amount that this lawsuit cost the village taxpayers. Many of us knew from the beginning it was wasting the taxpayers' money. Not knowing what the courts were going to do. We knew what we knew. We could have an opinion. But talking to legal people, for me anyway, my opinion was very strong. Not knowing what the judges were going to move on, but just the basis of law that you and I spoke about many times. And now it has come to pass that 5 judges, 2 courts, have ruled in the village's favor. for some of us, it was not only a waste of money. And taxpayers' money is first, so it was a waste of taxpayers' money. But this month, April, is 2 years that we fought this. The amount of time that I put into it, the amount of time that the village clerk put into it, the amount of time that the village attorney put into it, the amount of time that the chief of police put into it. It's phenomenal. That's our job. I guess that's what some people would say, and it is. That's our job. It's over. I thank everyone in this community for the support that they gave Chief Scott. I'm meeting with Central Hudson April the 16th, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow, 2:30, about final dollar amounts for restoration to streets that we're going to pave. How much they're going to give, and then we're going to take that and put it towards paving. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for us. It's a win for us, for sure. I've notified the Department of State that we have moved to discharge Roundout Consulting on the reorg grant. I gave him a copy of the letter that was sent to Roundout. We have 30 days from the date of the letter, which I believe was April the 9th. I'll come upon it here. April the 9th, so 30 days, so May 9th, that'll be our final day with Roundout, and nothing's being done now. We can't get a hold of him, and that's why we severed our ties, and then the village board will look for a new consulting firm. We did have some vandalism at Roe Park. The vandalism of the swing sets have been not repaired, replaced actually. Someone cut the rubber seats. We think we know who it might be, and we're following up through the police department.
What was used to do that? I mean, that was,
Yeah.
I just remember the other one had a metal plate.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of, Merv, I picture a saw, an actual saw, because the rubber is thick. Mr. Howard?
I want to thank Mary Jane for coming down to the center during Literacy Week. One of the kids that you took a picture of wanted to know what they're going to be in a paper.
Yeah.
So,
That paper.
That is my plan.
okay, thanks again for doing that though.
What was it, 45 books,
45
25 kids, something like that?
We like
Great.
books. That's it.
Mr. Merv?
Well, only two things I got. One is congratulate Brian, congratulate Jimmy down there in the room, welcome to the board. And the other thing that I have to say is, which I probably say at this time of the year all the time, please slow down. Please slow down. The kids are out there right now. I get nervous as heck every time I see it. I really do. You see the cars flying, you see the kids riding their bicycles and this and that, and well, the kids are kids, but I gotta tell you, it just makes me nervous when I see that.
Chief, do we have any helmets?
We have a couple still. We had them out all year long.
I saw a few, so if anyone's looking for a helmet up to a few little guys, girls, come stop at the police station and we'll give you a helmet.
Yeah, Walkill donated some last year. Every year they donate them, so we still have some.
Okay, thank you. Jim?
Nothing right now. I've got a call to CDB, for the CDBG money, because I had a conversation with the mayor about some percentages changing for our community, so we have a call into them and trying to speak with the director there, and trying to figure out and sort out with the clerk and Ms. Anderson, who's the director of the preliminary information that I was handed, actually as of early as this night, was a little disconcerting, so we're going to try to figure it out so that we can continue to get those monies from HUD, which is a federal agency. These are federal dollars administered by the county. So hopefully we can get that all straightened out. And you know, I'm surprised that places like the town of Walk Hill and the town of Montgomery get it. And you know, they're saying that we don't fit into the picture. So,
Very strong.
yeah, and some other villages in the county. So we're looking into it, and hopefully it's an easy fix, we're hoping. And get back to the board as soon as possible.
Jim?
Yeah, a couple of quick things. So just want to let everybody know that April is the Dig Safely month. I see a lot of construction and renovations going on in the village, which I commend the people that are doing it. They're really fixing up some of these gems that we have in the village. I'll have some pictures at the next meeting. They're really making a difference. So my hat goes off to the contractors that are out there that are putting an effort into it, and the homeowners. But so if you are going to be digging, just please call the Dig Safely, 811, and they will walk you through what you need to do, and they can come and do markouts. It is Earth Month, so there's a lot of things out there that you can do. You can go on the Central Hudson's website. They talk about your smart thermostats, light bulbs that you can put in, water-saving fixtures, and there are some advanced power strips that really save you up to 10% on your energy use. So go to their website. It's a great place to get some of that information. Coming up in May, on May 4th, we have I Love My Park Day. Again, the state website has a lot of good information out there. You can register. There's a few places around here. Unfortunately, the Bannerman Island registration is already closed. I believe it filled up. But they do have some in Harriman State Park. So anybody that wants to get out there and register and get out there and clean up some of the parks in our general area, we know Bear Mountain's right there. And we all use it. It's a great opportunity to get the kids out and enjoy the great outdoors. The other quick thing that I'd like to talk about tonight, again, for the kids, is the New York State Conservationist magazine for kids. You used to have to pay for this. You can get it online for free now. So, but if you want to get the hard copy in the mail, it costs a few dollars. Some of the things that they're talking about is how you can become a hero. That's why all the kids are dressed up like superheroes. They have a lot of great stuff for the kids. It's not a long magazine, 10 pages long. I'm seeing if we can get some to have at Village Hall. So any kid that wants to come and actually have a paper copy, they can get one there. That's what I got, Mr. Mayor, for this.
Very good, thank you. So I want to recognize Mr. Sullivan, Richie Sullivan, on the town board and school board. With us here tonight. Anything, Rich? No?
I wanted to see the center. I haven't been here in a long time, and I think it's nice that you're having a meeting here.
Are you a senior citizen?
I don't think so. I'm 58, I'm not sure.
You can join at 55.
Okay.
Dues are due tonight, not
I have an application.
I have not mentioned this to my board, but between now and then next meeting, I'm waiting on a meeting with Angela McClellan, who seems to be the person that is in charge of Lady Cliff Park, and I want to talk to her about coming up with $1,000 for her endeavors in the park. So I'm waiting for her to come and see me, sit down and talk to her, and then I'll come back to the board looking obviously for approval. That was the money we had talked about, as you know, at the budget workshop. Kathy, I normally don't do it this way, but is there anything you want to say on behalf of seniors or anything else?
Well, I have like a lot to say, but I just want to thank.
Say it.
Well, no, I can't. It's too much. But I just want to thank the board for coming. The few of the seniors that would have been here are sick.
Okay.
So I just want to thank you guys for coming. They some of them still wish that they would, you guys would have a meeting once in a while here, because they're unable to use the stairs to get up to your meeting. I unfortunately was one of them, I can't get up there. So, I mean, I think it's great, this is my first one. So, I mean, it's a lot of information, and, you know, but there's, you know, there's stuff, they got questions all over the place. And
Well,
as the board, do you think maybe at one time, that you could come to maybe a meeting, the Highlanders meeting, to explain, you know, some of the rules and regulations that should, I guess, come in play? Or the use of the building? It's underused, really, and we're
Right.
trying to get more of the seniors, you know, to come, but it's just very hard to,
it's tough.
it is.
We're creatures of habit, and we get used to going certain places to have, you know, for events, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Yeah.
But tomorrow there's a meeting, I plan
Yes.
on being at it, and Mr. Howard is at those. And any questions that come up, if I can answer them, I will, I always do. But it's important for the club to know that, you know, they can come to any one of us
Right,
when they see us on Main Street
Right.
or somewhere
They
else,
tend
at the
not to do
drugstore or
it.
whatever, and voice their concerns. But it's still in progress. I think it is progress, and it's still in progress with rules and regulations and who can use it, and trying to get something that was done all the time over there moved here. And so that's all being worked on, and we're talking to those that put on these events in other places to have more here. That's what this was, that's
what it was for.
that is what this is for. And we had the luxury of 3 or 4 years ago, when I was mayor, getting a grant for $200,000 to buy the property. We've done work in it.
See, that's what most, like, you need to explain to them, because they keep asking the same.
Do you have any events here at all? Do you have
Well, we,
talent shows or?
you can't, well, because of the rules and regulations.
They can't have talent shows?
No, they can have
No,
talent shows. They can have talent shows.
I mean, you know, like comedy or?
They can have talent shows, they can have people come and discuss history, have all kinds of informative meetings here that are done
Right.
now at the center and done now at Holy Innocents and maybe even other places. That all can be done here.
You could even have a dinner dance here. Once
Right,
everything's
but
in place.
you know, they're not, I don't understand why they,
Well, you have a lot of folks, and everyone says, you know, we're all saying different things, but I've been pretty consistent, and so we'll talk. Maybe it'll come up tomorrow at the meeting, and maybe you know, we'll see what they want to talk about. We're open. You know that. You know that, and they know that too. So
See, I just look at this where I think this would be a great thing for the kids, like during the summertime. And when I say a talent show for the seniors to watch something, this is just my opinion, of course.
well,
I mean, you got a stage here, you know, bring a little something into it.
yes. So all right.
oh, thank you.
It's important, Kathy. If there's something else, though, that now's the time. Now would be a good time. Don't leave and holding something back. Do you have anything else?
No.
No? Okay. Okay. Jim?
Just real quick, I'm sure the board, or I can speak up for the board for a second and say how great the DPW has been doing at Roe Park, trying to get it ready. You know, there was some major fixes that we had to do in the bathroom area, broken pipes, so that's why maybe bathrooms weren't open, to clarify. Also, if you notice that the sheds are now gone, and I want to thank the town for helping out with that, and Pat and his crew. And also, there were one or two trees taken down that have been kind of butchered over the years by O&R. So have no fear, we plan on putting a little picnic area there and planting some new trees. So we will replace those trees. I know I heard some concerns tonight about it, but we're going to make it look pretty. It's a nice park. We're going to be sinking some money into it this year. So we wanted to keep it nice. So just want everybody to know that. Thanks, and thanks to the DPW again.
Who was this? Trustee Lane or something?
Well, that's out of the norm. Shows the meeting's over. Okay, if there's nothing
No.
further from the board, I'll take a
No,
motion
no.
to...
I don't believe we did the bills and claims.
You would make one.
Could I have someone's agenda, because I don't do a copy. Could I have bills and claims paid for 2018, 2019, $90,185.09.
I'll make a motion for that.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Jim? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Motion out.
Motion to adjourn?
We walk around. We walk